What's up, everybody? It's Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com, and today we're going to be going over a Metro Boomin sidechain technique using Maschine. What's up, everybody? It's Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions. Make trap great again. Today we're going to be going over a Metro Boomin type drum technique, similar to what you hear in Mask Off, like how they've got that 808 going in the first half of the hook, and it obviously has an attack kick mixed into it, and then when you get into the second part of the hook and various parts of the verse, there's a more aggressive kick that has like a lot more top end that comes and takes over certain hits, but it's not on top of each bass hit at the same time, which is really interesting. And I was working on something similar to it using the Future MIDI drum loops pack. If you guys haven't been by Studio1Tutorials.com, there's a buy sound section, and you can get a hold of my different MIDI kits. This one is the newest one. It's got 15 8-bar MIDI drum loops from the Future self-titled album, and it's a really great pack. I've been getting a lot of feedback on it, been doing a lot of sales on it. Everybody who's got it is really satisfied because I chose to do that album because it is a really good expression of just modern music and the modern trap genre, how it has aggressive songs of various range of tempos, from like 130 stuff all the way up to 167, from regular 1 2 3 4 melodies all the way down to like seriously trap piano ballads. So it's really cool to be able to have those type of drums to start out with and build your tracks over, especially if you struggle with creating rhythm and things like that, or if you're if you're a noob and you're trying to study different drums and just see how the MIDI lines up with different patterns that you hear. If you're still at the point of your production career where you're kind of like training your ear to coincide with the grid, which is a really difficult stage to be in. So having something like this can help out with that. But anyway, what we have is this 808 and kick section going on, where I have this the Boy Wonder kick, and this is the Ill Mind 808, and this is what we have so far. Let me just solo this so you can get a real feel for it. So obviously we have this kick providing the attack, and without it sounds like this. So typically like when I would sidechain this when I mixed it already, and what I would do is I would, after I got done creating the arrangement and bouncing everything, I would put it in the Studio One and use their sidechain. But this is just one of these tracks, and I'm literally making this song, and I stopped to do this tutorial. I was just like, I want to hear it now. I want to be able to hear this effect, because when we go into scene 4 and we get into this added kick drum, and you see the added kick drum that I added is this sample right here. It's got a lot more top than this. That's a very rolled off type of kick. So that's the point, is just to come in and add like a shitload of impact and really wake you up, let you know, hey, this is a different section of the song, pay attention. And you'll notice that the programming of it is different. I have kicks that don't hit with the 808. I've got kicks that hit with the 808. So the challenge when you're making something like this is to carve and create the space for this to be a constant impact in the track, so that when it hits here, it doesn't sound louder than this. So which is kind of what you have going on right here. the solution to that is to when this kick is being triggered and these two notes are playing, is just to kind of duck these notes so that when this kick is triggered, it sounds just as loud as it does when that isn't happening. So what I'm going to do to create that effect is I'm going to do a little side chaining. I'm going to start overall by side chaining the Boy Wonder kick to the 808 to just make the fact that this kick is the attack more pronounced. And the way that you do that in Maschine is super easy. I was actually very happy how easy this is to do. You find the sample that you want to duck, that you want to have side chained, and you want to go to the internal compressor, and then just go ahead and go to sidechain input. And right here in the source, you want to select what sample is triggering the sidechain. In this case, it's the Boy Wonder kick. We want every time that kick hits to duck the volume of the 808 to make room for that. So we'll just go ahead and go to A and find the Boy Wonder kick. Now the next thing that you want to do when you're side chaining a kick is you want to go ahead and bring up the sample view and see how long this kick is. That way you can set the release time correctly. So this thing is going about what are we at? Let me just zoom this out. Yeah, we're around 10, so we'll go ahead and adjust that in our compressor. So once you've got the input of the sidechain set up, go ahead and just hit main. We'll go back here and we're gonna set our threshold to it's like 20 dB. It's a good starting point for a sidechain, and then we'll just go ahead and set our release. Around 50 milliseconds. That should coincide with right here, and that at this point in the timeline, and that should give us enough time for the attack of this kick to peek through. So we'll just go ahead and listen to that. All right, see, we want to make sure that we start the attack off right away. I just want to go into the mixer mode so I could see exactly how much compression I'm ducking down. Normally when I do side chaining, I'm just trying to knock off like 3, 4, 5, 6 dB. See, that's a shitload right there. So I'm gonna back this up. The dog and my girl are going ham. All right. So now if we kind of A/B this, I take this compressor off. Even as I turn it up louder, that kick is still coming through. So that's the desired effect I want to have with the first kick and bass relationship. I want that kick to play the part of the attack. I want to make sure that you hear it, and I want to make sure that when the 808 hits, it's coming in at a similar amplitude so that it sounds like one sound. Now, when this guy comes on, we want to do a similar deal, because I don't want is that kick to just sit so much higher in the hierarchy of volume, so that once I start limiting it, everything, it just becomes this super loud sound, and my actual bass and 808 get squashed. And then once you start actually limiting your track, you're starting to do like your mix bus compression, and putting your final brick wall limiter on at the end, it's going to make the parts of the track seem really weird, because your limiter is going to get confused when that occurs. That's kind of the best way I could describe it right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a sidechain on this guy right here, so that when this kick comes on, it takes over the attack for the 808. All right, and then that way I could back this kick down in the volume, and we'll still be able to hear it, because right now I've got it turned up so loud because I wanted to feel it, right? So we'll just go ahead and sidechain this guy, put in the old compressor, and we're gonna have sidechain input. We're using the cold case kick, so we're going to, where you at? I have that trigger the cold case kick. Look into sampling. This is a faster one, so we'll try about 50 or 40. Go into mixer view so we can see it. Set our amount. I'm sorry. There we go. Set the thresholds to 20. Set the attack all the way down. Set the release. We'll try it at 40 to begin with. See what we get. See how now, as opposed to before when I turn these off, it gives you this let me turn this other one off too, so we kind of A/B it. When we turn the compressors off now, everything is it's not defined. It's real muddy, right? Especially when you get to these open kicks right here, you kind of you lose that first boy wonder kick. So now when we go ahead and we throw this in the context of the whole song, let me take this off of solo. I mean, when you really start compressing it now, that's when you get to see the samples working a lot better together, because as that main kick, as the boy wonder kick is still maintaining its attack properties, while it's while it's playing alone. Once these three kicks start hitting at the same time, the cold case kick then becomes the boss, and you get to hear that over the Boy Wonder kick without worrying about masking and things like that. And it's a much smoother transition. So it sounds like instead of it sounding like two different kicks playing two different parts, it just sounds like you're just switching between different attacks, which gives it a really cool vibe. This scene right here, and you don't have this kick. So yeah, man, definitely, definitely just a little bit of, not a whole lot, but a little bit of thinking and a little bit of prioritizing as far as, if you're gonna pull this off. And I'm gonna tweak it a little bit more just to get the volume right. The screen capture and the camera is fucking with my CPU right now. So, but at least you guys can see the kind of the method behind, why you would even be able to stack these two different kicks in different places. This isn't by any means a brand new technique, but it is something in order to pull it off right and get it to the point where it doesn't sound like a mess, and you can go from scene to scene with heavy limiting and not have it sound like it's two completely different songs and get a big volume jump. The side chaining is really going to facilitate that. So again, real quick, in order to do it, you find what you want to compress. Go ahead and put the stock compressor on it, hit the sidechain input, select what you want to sidechain, and make sure that you set the attack time really fast, as fast as you can, and the release time to roughly the attack of the kick that you want to hear. It's not going to be like a 100 millisecond type of deal. It's going to be 50, 60, 70 if it's a really long kick. So this is Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions. Don't forget to stop by studio1tutorials.com. Pick up future MIDI drum loops, 15 of the my favorite tracks off of the new Future album. Get a really varied MIDI drum loop set in your life and make it faster to make quality music. Keep it simple, don't be basic, and we will see you on the next one.